Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to day 3 of Learn to Tap. My favorite day. It is going to be such a fun conversation today, tapping into your wildly wealthy woman. Welcome to day 3 of Learn to Tap. My favorite day. Awesome. Okay. Just want to make sure there is no feedback. I'm going to give everyone a moment to hop on here on Facebook. Join us when you get here. Make sure you say hi for your chance to win a tapping bundle today. So we did the body bundle, the abundance bundle, and today I'm going to do the millionaire in the making bundle. These bundles have around 6 to 8 videos in them that are 20-minute sessions each. That will take you through an affirmation. So each video is a different affirmation and tap you into the frequency of, in this case, your wildly wealthy woman. And so say hi when you get here. I think we have it up and running in all the places. I do have another special guest today that is joining us who you're going to absolutely love. And we'll dive in. All right, I can see. Good morning, Alita. Hello. Say hello when you get here, everyone. Remember, the more you comment, the more likely it is that you will win one of the bundles. And if you have any friends that you feel would benefit from this training, that would be interested in tapping, feel free just to invite them straight to the group. This group is available, open and free for you guys to use as a resource. And the more the merrier, right? Our mission is to get tapping into the hands, hearts, and homes of people worldwide. So feel free to invite all the people in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and we'll get started on day 3, tapping into your wildly wealthy woman. I'm so excited to share it with you. And then I will bring on my special guest. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share screen. All right, everyone, welcome back to day 3 of the Learn to Tap training. Today is by far my favorite day, and I know many people who have been in this training before say this was their favorite day. We're going to talk about how tapping can be used as a manifestation tool, and we're going to tap into your wildly wealthy woman together. And we're going to explain who your wildly wealthy woman is. We're also going to explain what makes my style of tapping different. Our philosophy inside of Tapping School. And at the end, there is a special exciting announcement to stay tuned for that you're not going to want to miss, because there are some great opportunities when you join our community of Tapping School students. So good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Jenny. Thank you. So good to see you here live. And to all of you on the replay, hello as well. All of you on the podcast. I love to hear your aha moments, your biggest takeaways. Feel free to send me a personal message. I always love to hear from you. All right, so today what we're going to cover, we're going to go through an exercise, the Wildly Wealthy Woman exercise. We're going to share a little bit more about our philosophy at Tapping School, and as I mentioned before, a special announcement. So to dive in, I wanted to actually start with our philosophy inside of Tapping School. And the main theme that you will hear us talk about, that you'll hear me talk about, is teaching you how to release so that you can receive. And yeah, it's been a pattern in my life from the day that I found tapping. I was, as I mentioned before, when tapping came into my life, I was going through a big season of loss, a big season of grief. And when you're in a season like that, it can feel kind of debilitating or feel like it's going to last forever. And with tapping, you're able to obviously process the big emotions that you're being faced with, and then understand that there's a bigger purpose, a bigger reason for it. And one of my favorite quotes is, "My purpose in life is to be a pencil in God's hand." And that's what tapping really started to teach me, was to feel safe letting go of control and the needing to know exactly how and exactly when things would work out. And realizing that in uncertainty, there is immense possibility, but it really depends which side of the nervous system we're most dominant on. If you're in a fight or flight state, being in uncertainty can just feel overwhelming and scary. And within a few minutes of tapping, like you've maybe experienced yesterday or with me before, you can shift out of that fight or flight state and see things from a totally new perspective. We can see things that are possible for us. We can see where there was once limits, new opportunities, new possibilities, but it's not without honoring where you're at today, right? And that's the thing I love about tapping, is that there's no emotional bypassing, there's no pretending, there's no toxic positivity. So this is our core philosophy: release, receive. And I will often say, like, I can notice when people are in a release to receive cycle, and those cycles can be kind of sticky and kind of scary, but we can help you move through them so much quicker with tapping. And that's a thing you'll hear in our community over and over again. Tapping doesn't make hard things not happen. It helps you process them and move through them easier. Your bounce back rate is quicker. So even if you do, have a moment where you feel down or you feel overwhelmed or uncertain, you don't stay there as long. You know how to pull yourself out. So I'm actually going to just run through what makes us different, and I'm actually going to give you an experience with it today. So we specialize in creating a life you want, not just healing what you're going through. And this is kind of my main focus with tapping. It's of course an incredible trauma tool. It's been used for things like PTSD. It's been used with veterans. It has been used to help people overcome addictions, really painful things, but it can also be used to help you create an incredible life. And that's really our focus inside of our community. We believe that life is happening for you and through you, not just to you, and using tapping as the tool to help you discover that. The biggest piece in how we teach tapping is we incorporate something called parts of self work with EFT. So it's also known as internal family systems. It's a form of therapy that allows you to break through a lot faster. And internal family systems on its own is incredible. Tapping on its own is incredible, but the two together are a superpower. And you're gonna experience that in a moment. What we mean by that, what is parts of self-work and how it works. We teach you how to become a super attractor without spiritual bypassing or acknowledging the human experience. And this includes conversations around diversity and privilege. This is a really important value to us inside of Tapping School. We have a whole module just on ethics and how to work with others. And I often say how to know your limit, play within it. Like where are you suitable for helping others in EFT, and where should you be referring out, and what extra skills do you need? So that is a big topic inside of our world. We teach you how to find answers for yourself through teaching you a tool that will give you the ability to find your voice and your truth. This might be my favorite thing about tapping, is that it's not like I'm some guru that you're coming to for answers. I'm teaching you a very practical tool that when you are feeling upset, or you're having a symptom in your body, or you've been working towards a goal, but it's not happening, you then have the power to tap yourself and find that answer for you. And it's such a privilege as a practitioner to watch someone go through that. Like, we can help facilitate and move that process along, but it really comes from within you. And there's something very powerful about that. You don't need me. You don't need anybody else. Once you know how to tap, you can literally unlock a world of power and possibility inside of you. Our results and retention rates are high. Our practitioners stay committed to the vision. This isn't just another modality they don't do anything with. So when I started to build my certification program, I didn't want it to just be a weekend thing, because I saw that a lot. People would be like, oh, this is kind of cool, I'll go get certified for a weekend, and then never do anything with it. I really wanted to create a community that is a force of nature in the world of women that are actively healing themselves and helping others every single month, even outside of our program. And so we do have an alumni program that you have continual tapping with your tapping buddies every month, because we see when people are tapping regularly, the results they get are remarkable. Whether it's something you're manifesting, something you're healing, this is really, really important to us inside of our community. We're not the cheapest in the market, and we're proud of that. We focus on quality over quantity. We are a rare and exceptional experience. So like I said, most tapping people that you learn from, it'll be some kind of weekend course. We believe that the deep transformation comes through commitment to your inner work. And so our school is really designed to help you go in and get anything that you might still be holding on to or needed to release out. And that takes time, right? So our community is designed to be around a 5-month journey, but most people end up staying for a full year, because it's a whole new world you're literally tapping into. Tracy says, speaking with my inner child was the biggest breakthrough for me. It's so cool. It's so, so cool to be able to experience that right inside a tapping school and show you, oh my gosh, the reason I'm not getting the results I want is that there's different parts of me that are not on board with who I'm becoming, or that don't feel safe expressing themselves in the world, or that don't want to shine. And there's a part of me that wants to, and there's a part of me that doesn't want to. And how do I manage that? How do I heal that? And I call it your inner power team. When the parts of you that have been scared or forgotten or lost are found and healed and seen and heard, the energy that you have access to in your body, the ability that you have to manifest amplifies significantly. So without further ado, I want to invite in someone that's very special, very important to the tapping school community, and that is my business partner, Sarah. We actually found each other in our own tapping training 12, almost 13 years ago. We started out as tapping buddies, and Sarah's journey with EFT is remarkable. She has a very incredible story. Welcome, Sarah. And I would love for you, Sarah, just to start off by introducing yourself and sharing with everyone, what brought you to EFT? What was your experience?
Hi, Jackie. I'm so happy to be here today. Hi, everyone that's listening and taking the time. Thank you so much for being here. I love talking about tapping and I love teaching it. It's a joy in my life. I found tapping over a decade ago when I was facing a severe health issue. So I had been diagnosed with Crohn's disease and was incredibly ill. And I knew from my background, because I have my master's in counseling psychology, I knew that I was experiencing some trauma from how sick I had been and all the emotional roller coaster I'd been on with doctors and my body and everything I'd been going through. So I started researching things that could help with trauma, and I actually like by the grace of God found tapping, really, and through that began to heal my body. And it is still to this day, to me, a really miraculous experience that happened for me is I found tapping and began doing the work. And as I did combine that somatic experience with the emotional healing, my body started to heal. I started to experience wellness again. I began to also have such a difference in my perspective that I started to have a different relationship with my body and the illness and the trauma and everything that was happening to me. And it was so profound for me that I ended up not only healing from this journey, being in remission without any medication. I mean, I'm very, very lucky. I devoted myself to my healing for many years. I was blessed to have that ability to do that also. But I've been in remission for over 15 years. And tapping has been a huge part of my life. But what I soon discovered was how much I loved it personally and how I wanted to share it with others. So I went and trained with our mentor that we learned from, who actually was someone who learned from one of the original people who created tapping. So Jackie and I have been doing this a long time together, and we met at the tapping training. And again, that was another life-changing part of my life because it changed the focus of my career. And I switched from doing traditional talk therapy to doing tapping with my clients. And then met Jackie and we became friends, which is another part of tapping school that we love to talk about, is the fact that um, we mirrored that what we had in our training, where we tapped with one another and we've created these really amazing close friendships. And that brought us to tapping school. Actually, after tapping together, we decided that we wanted to teach others and that we wanted to share this and the techniques that we had discovered through our tapping journey, including how we were integrating parts of self-work and how that was, and how we saw the results with our own clients and with ourselves. And we really wanted to share that with others.
Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, it's so beautiful to hear your story. And I don't know how to convey to people how sick you were before you found tapping, but debilitating, not able to
yes.
even, get to the bathroom at some moments, right? You were in a very scary state. And when I say tapping finds you when you're ready for it, it just aligned to come into your life. And I know there was other things you did to support your wellness, but I just, your story never ceases to inspire me because it gave you your life back in many ways, right? Like you're such a
It
beautiful
did.
life today.
Well, I'd really gotten to the point with doctors where there was nothing, Western medicine had gone as far as it could go with helping me. And I knew that there had to be something else out there. I knew that there had to be a way for my body to heal. And yes, my full story, I mean, I was so devastatingly ill. I was in my early 30s. My whole life was right ahead of me. I had just gotten married. I was looking forward to having children. And here I had this illness that literally floored my life. I couldn't work. Had to move home with my parents to have them take care of me. I was, it, and nothing that I was trying was helping my body. And then my spirit was, and my soul. I mean, I just was in such depression and absolute panic. And it really was devastating. And tapping, that's why it was literally life changing. It had such a profound effect on my body and on my emotional state that it changed everything for me. And to be living the life that I live now with my beautiful son, my partner, my spouse, we've been married for many, many years in a beautiful home. And I live right next to the beach. I'm so blessed. And so much of that I look at from learning actually the tool of tapping, because it changed everything. And I've been really, really lucky to see that also with my clients and with my students. I mean, tapping is like I, I'm so excited you're all here to learn, because this is now Jackie and I. We want to share this with as many people as possible, because everyone should have access to this. Everyone should have access to emotional well-being and to tools that can help regulate your nervous system, help you work through past hurts, and to heal what's happening in the present also. So that's really important to both of us.
And something that you said before is that like you don't need to be a therapist or have a fancy degree to learn tapping. I mean, you actually did have that. You've come from a
Right.
background, you were a counselor, sorry, a therapist before you came to tapping. Can you just speak to, and we've had a lot of people inside of tapping school that are very highly skilled trauma therapists that end up actually using tapping as their main modality. Can you speak to that for a moment? Just why you made that shift from traditional therapy to tapping?
Well, I really found, once I experienced it myself, I found that bringing in the somatic aspect of, because it's actually those acupressure points, I found that instead of cycling through where in therapy you would get like the aha, but you wouldn't, it would be really hard to get the behavioral and cognitive shifts. Like in traditional therapy, they work a lot with like the ahas, and now we're going to practice doing things differently in the world. This made it actually, your belief changed, your perspective changed, your feeling about it physically changed, and therefore to take different action, to feel differently about things in the world, didn't take the practice and that work. It happened within that. So the profound, to me, combining the physical with doing the talk therapy, with doing the expression of emotion, um, it it had such significant change, and it happened so fast, and it happened at such a deep level where I no longer for myself was carrying the beliefs and things that happened from my childhood or the things that were happening currently. And therefore I was being different in the world. I was feeling different in situations. I was actually experiencing a different way of being in the world. And I could give an example of that, and it's kind of just a silly one, really, but a lot of people have this. I had a really intense anxiety about getting my blood drawn. And it was something that I had to do constantly when I was this sick. And I would go into shock and panic. They could never find the veins. It was really, really like every time I would go, I would experience like a trauma. I had just a real fear around it, which I know for some people they even faint at the sight of blood. But I, doing this work, and this is not like deep childhood healing, which is also the other side of this, but it's that tapping made me feel calm and capable. And I remember the first day after having a session working on this particular fear, because it was going on in my life, it was very present. I came in, sat down, and the nurse came in, and she knew that I'd always been nervous, and she was like, okay. And I sat there and I had a different experience. I was calm. I talked to her. I felt like myself. My voice was my own. They actually were able to find the vein, not super easy, but much easier. And it it was in that moment. I remember walking in even to the clinic and thinking, I don't feel the same. I feel calm. I feel like I'm capable, like I can sit here and I can do this, and my body and I were unified. And which is another piece to that, because you bring the body in and it develops this deep relationship, this deep reverence for your body and all the information it has to give you and the language it speaks. So anyways, it's kind of a lighter version of the really deep work that we do. But that's why I decided to shift from doing traditional therapy, because the results for me were so remarkable. And I wanted to share this with others. I wanted to take my clients on this journey. I wanted to bring this into my practice because I knew that I could help them get the results that we were working on. So I shifted everything and went from doing traditional therapy to being an EFT practitioner 100%. And I went all in because I loved it.
And you're like the best of the best practitioner. Like you were, Sarah's my practitioner, and like changed my life over and over again. And so what I'm hearing is you shifted because it worked so well and so quickly, and it blended the mind and body. And you think about like, what are the other options? You know, it's like going to therapy or like going for a massage. It's like we can work on your, emotional, mental health, or we can like actually, physically help your body. But what about both? And tapping is that both. It's like because I often feel that sensation after a session of like, after you've had a massage where you're so relaxed, you're like, wow, I feel like jelly, but it's like from the inside out. So thank you for sharing that. I think that perspective is really helpful for people that either are therapists or do have that background, and like why you made that shift. And we have, like I said, many, many therapists, counselors, mental health experts in our community that have made the shift just to tapping because of, again, the speed and the long-term benefits of it. So I think it's time we should give everyone the experience of parts of self-work. Sarah, what do you think?
I love it. I'm so excited. It's my favorite work.
So you're gonna meet two parts of self today. The first part of self is a part of you that might need a little extra support right now. And inside of tapping school, Sarah and I teach about these four parts of self that we generally work with. So your inner child, your warrior, your wise woman, and your wildly wealthy woman. They are archetypes, but they are very real and active in your subconscious mind. And each part of self has a shadow and light side. We're not going to get too much into that today, but to start off our experience in tapping today, we're gonna work with the part of you that might need a little extra support. And how we're going to do this is through what's called finger tapping. And so finger tapping, obviously, if you're on video or watching this live or on YouTube, it's going to be easiest for you to follow along. Finger tapping is very simple. We're just tapping right on the side of the nail bed. And you're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you're tapping on the side of the nail bed, and you kind of get into this rhythm with it. And I'm going to get you to close your eyes. So as long as you're in a safe place to do so, go ahead, tap on those finger points, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And while you're tapping on the finger points with your eyes closed, I want you to visualize or imagine the part of you right now that has been working really hard, that has been trying really hard, and is feeling a little tired, defeated, or exhausted. And as you close your eyes, knowing that everyone visualizes differently, and this is a slow and steady process, so maybe you're able to see this part of you. Maybe you're able to have a sense of this part of you. Just go ahead and tune in now while you tap on the finger points, getting curious about who this is. Which part of me is this? What does she look like? Taking a nice deep breath, tuning into the part of you that is a little exhausted, a little overworked or overwhelmed. And if you were to explain to me what she looks like, what would you say? You can go ahead and say it out loud right now because you're just listening anyway. And describe her to me. Like, what is she wearing? What is her posture like? And this question is important. How do you feel when you're looking at her? And so, Sarah, I'm wondering if you're open to being my echo here and telling me, can you see this part of yourself that is a little maybe exhausted, tired, feeling defeated? Are you able to see her?
I can. I've just been home with my son for 4 days because he didn't have school. I
Yeah.
can see the tired mom part of me. Yes, I can. And she's sitting in the kitchen corner and she's just really tired of doing chores and caretaking. She's just that tired part of me.
Yeah, good. Okay. So what is she wearing? You said she's sitting in the kitchen. Can you tell me what she's wearing?
Mm. Oh, it's kind of funny. She's wearing like an apron and like sweatpants over the top of it, and she just looks really disheveled looking, and just like the kitchen's a mess around her, and everything looks like a hurricane hit it. Like it's just like a tornado came through. Some toys everywhere. Just like she's just sitting overwhelmed.
Like it's overwhelmed, mom. Great. Thank you for describing that to me. And how do you feel when you look at her?
I feel for her. Like I feel like, oh, it's hard to be a mama. And so I feel for her, some like compassion for her. And then also I can feel a little bit of her overwhelm.
Okay. So just like we did with Sarah, I want you to do the same thing, eyes closed, tapping on your finger points. And just like she explained to me what her, tired mom self looked like, I want you to do the same. So the part of me that's tired, defeated, maybe has been working really hard. What does she look like? What is she wearing? And how do you feel when you look at her? And give you a moment to do that. And now what I want you to do is imagine the you today that is wiser, that is your highest and best self. I want you to embody that energy right now. Embody your highest and best self. And I want you to imagine just stepping in and introducing yourself to this part of you that has felt tired, that has felt a little overworked, and introduce yourself to her. Let her know that you are here to help her right now. You're here to help her feel better. Again, you're just visualizing this, or if you can't see it, just sense it happening. And once you've introduced yourself to this part of you that's been working really hard or feeling really tired, I want you to ask that part of self that's working really hard or really tired how she feels and where she feels it in her body. And listen to what this part of you has to say. So maybe she says, I'm tired, or I'm defeated, or I'm worried. So Sarah, would you be my example again as you stepped in as your highest and best self and asked this part of you how she feels? What did she say?
Well, she said she felt overwhelmed and by the like the never ending um, amount of chores and responsibilities. And then I asked her where in her body she felt it, and she felt tension in her chest
Okay.
and just a tightness in her chest.
Okay, thank you for that. And so for those of you following along with us, I want you to do the same thing. You've stepped in, you've introduced yourself to this part of yourself that's been working really hard or that's felt really tired or overwhelmed. You've asked her how she feels. And this is different. You're not guessing how she feels. You're asking her how she feels, and she's telling you, I feel fill in the blank, whatever she says. And then you're asking her, where does she feel it in her body? Is it in her chest, in her stomach, in her shoulders, her head? And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to tap with this part of yourself that has felt really tired, that has felt exhausted or defeated. We're going to help her feel better. So with your eyes closed, I want you to switch to tapping on the side of the hand. This is the karate chop point. We're going to tap for this part of you now. So we're going to say, even though there's this part of me that is feeling really tired, I love and accept myself anyway. And this part of me right now. And we're going to change up the language a little bit because we're going to tap for her. So we're going to say, even though you feel tired and overwhelmed because you've been working so hard, you can love and accept yourself anyway. Again, we're tapping on behalf of this part of you, and we're going to say, even though you feel tired from working so hard, you can love and accept yourself anyway. And you're going to go to the top of the head and say, you've been feeling tired and overwhelmed. Eyebrow point. You've been working so hard. Side of the eye. You've been holding on to it in your body. Underneath the eye. And it's safe for you now to start letting it go. Underneath the nose. All this overwhelm and fatigue that you've been feeling. Underneath the mouth. I am here now to help you feel better. All right, good job, everyone. So now you're going to go back to tapping on your finger points, closing your eyes, tuning back into this part of you that we just tapped. We tapped on behalf of her. So that language might sound a bit different because we're saying, even though you feel, it's really tapping for her. And with your eyes closed, tapping on your finger points, just want you to ask that part of you that felt tired or overwhelmed before, how she's feeling now. And notice if the image has changed. Notice if she's sitting up higher. Notice if she's maybe wants to be in a different space, move out of the space she's in into a new room or into a place that makes her feel better. Just notice how this part of you that was feeling tired and overwhelmed, how she's feeling now. And however she's feeling is fine. There's no right or wrong answer. But this next question is really important. We're going to ask her, what is it that she needs right now to feel better? And it can be anything in the world that she wants. It could be help. It could be a hug. It could be permission to go to bed and have a rest. It could be guidance from a loved one. This part of you that's felt tired or overworked, asking her what she needs right now and waiting for her response. So Sarah, again, would you mind sharing as my example buddy what this part of you looks like now and what she needs right now?
No, I'm happy to share. And I'm yawning so much. I don't know if any of you out there are yawning too. My eyes are watering, which is totally normal with tapping, because my body's starting to relax. But no, she actually, it's interesting. She was like, yeah, it is an never ending like list of to-dos. And she was like, but I'm tired and I want to go rest. And able to do that because she doesn't feel so like I have to be here and I have to do all these things. So just like permission to go rest. So I can see her. She walked into her bedroom and was like, I'm just gonna lay down on the bed and sleep because that's what
Good.
I need. Yeah, so
Good.
that's super nice feeling. Yeah, she doesn't feel like she have to.
Yeah, and this is really important because in this space, when we're tapping with the part of self like this, she can have anything in the world that she wants. So if she's like, even if there's lots happening, she can go have a sleep if she needs to sleep. The main thing is teaching this part of yourself how to regulate, right? How to relax. And so Sarah's example is perfect. So Sarah, tapping on your finger points, can you see her in the bedroom now, lying on that bed? Does she have a blanket on her?
Yeah, she has a blanket and she changed into her pajamas even though it's daytime out. But she's like, I just need sleep. I need rest for my body.
Good. So can you see her actually going to sleep? She's in her pajamas. She's in that big comfy bed. And she has permission to go to sleep. And
Yes.
how
Yeah, I
does
can see.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I can see her laying down and just falling asleep, but and without the guilt or kind of like feeling of the pressure. So, and it's okay if everyone doesn't feel that way. I mean, I've done obviously a lot of work on this mom part of self, so it's easier for me to shift out of that feeling for me of feeling guilt and like I have to do everything. But I can see her laying there, and my body in response to that feels like an exhale. Like I'm like, okay, like the relief. I feel the relief for her and for myself in my body.
Beautiful. So thank you for mentioning that. And everyone that's following along with us, I want you again, you can tap on your finger points, tune back into this part of you that was feeling tired or exhausted before, asking her what she needs right now, and watching that happen as if you're watching a movie. So whatever that part of you says she wants or needs, seeing it happen now. And most importantly, feeling it happen now. Feeling her start to receive. We helped her release through tapping, and now we're helping her receive. And anything in the world that she wants, she can have right now. And if it's maybe to go to bed, she can go to bed. It's to go sit in the sun, she can go soak up the sun. If it's to have people around her that would support her, see them being there now. And this part's really important, just like a movie, watching it happen, feeling it happen, experiencing it all happen. You can take a nice deep breath. Good. And then you can ask this part of yourself, now that she's gotten what she needs, we always ask again, is there anything else you would like? And to me, this is where the receiving muscles are built. When you teach a part of yourself that once felt tired, that once felt forgotten, how to receive, not just a little, but more than what she's used to. This is profound for the nervous system and the body. So ask her again, what is it? What else would you need right now? It could be anything at all. And just see what happens next. And Sarah, did anything come up for you? She was in bed, she's got her pajamas on. Is there anything else that she needed?
And she said when she wakes up, she wants to take a hot shower and she wants like some tea or some like a warm liquid like tea or something like that, coffee tea, and a shower. And then she's thinking, kind of starting to think a little bit in a way of like, oh, okay, is there some way I can get help with like cleaning up and doing stuff? So she's starting to already like look for some kind of solutions that aren't just all on her shoulders. Um, and but she goes, but after I rest, then I can give some time for myself. And within the scenario, she also has childcare, so she's able to go do this with feeling like, okay, my kid's good, and I've got the time I need. So yeah,
Good. Okay,
great.
so these are all really important pieces. So as she's lying in bed and she's resting, you just let her know that if and when she's ready to get up, there's time and space for her to have a nice hot shower. There's going to be a nice cup of coffee or tea waiting for her after. Her little one is all taken care of. He's entertained. He's having fun. And that there's a support team coming in to help her, whether that's someone to help with the cleaning or her child. And how does this part of you now feel hearing all of that?
I mean, she's a little like she just feels grateful and even a little teary. So it's, I mean, which is totally normal to have that part of you. Like if sometimes a part of self just wants to cry at the beach, or be alone on a tropical island and just receive, but to feel that. So she just feel she's kind of like a release, like she's crying, but they're tears of like, oh gosh, I can let go now, and it's not all on me. Like that reminder that she's supported, she can find support. Um, yeah, so it feels really good in her
Beautiful.
body.
Beautiful. So with all of you following along, again, closing your eyes, tuning back in, what does this part of you need now? Is there anything else she wants or needs? And just like Sarah beautifully showed us, she can have more. So asking this part of you, is there anything else you need? And seeing her Say it out loud, like, yeah, I want this, this, and this, or I'd like this as well. And then seeing that coming into that vision for her now. And just taking a quiet moment and a few deep breaths while you watch that happen like you're watching a movie. And sometimes the visual will just unfold itself. It will show you, this part of you will show you the next thing that she wants, the next thing that she needs. And you can experience that happening right here, right now for her. You can say it out loud to activate it, to experience it fully. I see her receiving X, Y, and Z. And it feels, and say out loud how it feels. And this part of you that was once tired or exhausted is now supported and resourced, bolstered up. And you can do this as long as you want. You can keep asking this part of yourself, what else, what else, what else do you need? And when it feels complete, for the sake of our timing, we're gonna just let it be complete for where it is right now. And in order to complete this, I want you to imagine a color or a light coming in through the top of this image. Seeing that this part of you that was once feeling tired, seeing her supported, seeing her rested, seeing her being surrounded in this beautiful healing light. And what color is that light? Just breathe that in right now. Seeing her covered in this beautiful healing light, whatever color it is. Feeling her relax, feeling her rest, feeling her start to receive. Letting this part of you know that you will check in with her again. But for right now, she's safe just to rest and receive. She is important to you. You know that she exists. You know that she is here now and that you will come back again. And I want you to just imagine wrapping her in this ball of light and placing it somewhere safe. Could be in a treasure chest, could be on a bookshelf. Place this part of you somewhere where she is safe to rest and receive. You can go ahead and tell me where that is right now. Just say it out loud. And Sarah, maybe I'll ask you to use your example. So could you see her covered in light?
Yeah, I saw just like a nice warm morning, like more like a summery day. So like a warm sunlight kind of coming in and
Beautiful.
just infusing that that space that she was in while she's resting. So it just felt like really warm and supported.
Beautiful. And as that color surrounds her and just supports her, is there anywhere that you want to place her that's a little off in the distance? Can you tell me where that is?
Mm. Well, I can see her, so I have like kind of like a place where where like all things that need to be healed go, and it's just like a sacred setting, so I can see it. It's in the mountaintops, and so I can see her there now, and being supported and cared for. So it's just like there's like just a lovely healing space that she's in now.
Beautiful. Good. So just keep tapping on your finger points. And for those of you following along, same with what Sarah did, just see her being placed somewhere safe that's kind of out of the way where she can just rest and receive, covered in this beautiful healing light. And then I want you to just create some distance from her now, just feeling her get farther away. She's all good. She's taken care of and creating more and more space. Taking a deep breath as you come back into the space of your present self. And we're actually going to keep going. And I'm going to introduce you to somebody else. And now that you have healed this part of you that felt tired or forgotten or that's been working really hard, and she's receiving all the healing she needs, you are now ready to meet someone else. And now while you tap on your finger points with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine in front of you a path. Just take a moment to breathe in, to look at this path, and you can describe it to me, saying it out loud. What does this path look like? Where is it? Is it in a forest? Is it a beach? Is it a mountain? Just describe to me this path that you see. If there's trees around it, if there's water, if there's birds, add all of those important pieces in and just tell me right now out loud what this path looks like. And this path is intended to be really peaceful and healing. This is the path to your wildly wealthy woman. And once you've taken it all in, I want you to go ahead and start walking down that path. And just notice where it's taking you. Notice if it's winding or if it's straight. Just feel yourself walking down the path to your wildly wealthy woman. She is up in the distance now. I want you to see a silhouette of a person. And just notice and feel yourself walking towards her. And as you get closer, you're going to enter her vortex of energy. As you get closer, I want you to notice, what is she wearing? Your wildly wealthy woman has been here all along waiting for you. She is delighted that you have finally discovered her. And she is ready and waiting to greet you. And as you approach her and get closer, I want you to just notice, what is she wearing? And then go ahead and step into that space with her. And notice how it feels. How does it feel to be in the frequency of your wildly wealthy woman? What is her surroundings like? Where is she living? Where is she located in this moment? Just take it all in right now. And is there anything that she wants to show you? Is there anywhere she wants to take you? Let that happen now. Is there anything that she wants you to know? And feel her sharing whatever wisdom she has with you now. So there is a difference in vibrational frequency between you and her. She's been through some things. She's on the other side of some things. She has confidence. She has wisdom. And she knows and believes in you. So I want you to experience that fully with her right now. Experience the vibration, the frequency of being with her now. And if there's any questions you have, you can ask them. And if there's any beliefs that she has about herself, about her health, about her business, about love. Let her give them to you now. She is downloading and giving to you all the wisdom, all the wealth, all the health, all the knowledge and love that you need. And just feel yourself receiving from her fully, taking it all in, feeling it all happening in you and around you now. There's colors, if there's light, if there's sounds, if there's sensations, just feel it downloading all into you. She is your greatest guide. She is your best friend. She is the wisdom keeper for your path and your purpose. She's got you and you've got her. And then whenever you're ready, I want you to just give her a great big hug and thank her. She's so grateful to meet you. She's excited for you, and she's always here to guide you on your path. And then with a big deep breath, I want you to turn back around, get back on the path, maybe wave goodbye to her, walk back down the path that you started on, all the way back, all the way back, all the way back to the beginning. Taking a nice deep breath, feeling yourself back in the present moment at the beginning of this path. You can stop tapping, put your hands on your heart, take a deep breath. And just feel the transformation that's happened in you today. You healed a part of yourself that was hurting. You connected to a part of yourself that has been healed and whole and healthy and wealthy. And this was a world that is happening within you. And that you have just scratched the surface of possibility and power. And that when you open your eyes, we're going to count down from 3. When you open your eyes, you have activated healing. You have activated a momentum. You have activated your wildly wealthy woman and the journey that it takes to become her. It's taking a nice deep breath on the count of 3, 2, 1. You can go ahead and open your eyes. Welcome back into the room. You might feel a little spacey, so take a moment to feel your feet on the floor. If you've got yawns, if you got tears. We just tapped into some really important key pieces to your healing, to your growth. And if you were watching live, you'll notice on the video, like this process was a bit of eyes open, eyes closed when I was working with Sarah. And that's the really cool thing about tapping is like the power of visualization and tapping together, I find works faster because you, the client, can lead it, right? You can explain to me what's happening. You can talk and tell me what's happening. You can watch the visuals start to unfold. And again, if you didn't experience all of this yet, you will. You absolutely will with the more practice that you have. So I would love to hear from those of you that are here. If you want to share in the comments. First question is, what did you see when you looked at the part of you that was tired or has been working really hard? What was that like? And then my second question is, what did your wildly wealthy woman look like? And what was she wearing? That's one of my favorite questions because I often hear the theme that she was wearing white. And not always, but very often, some people tell me that. And one of my invitations to you is whatever your wildly wealthy woman is wearing, if and when you're in a place to do so, go get a photo shoot and go get yourself the outfit that she was wearing. Start to bring her to life. So many tears. Yes, she was wearing white. I'm so glad that this was healing for you. Thank you for sharing in the comments. Sarah, how did it end for you? I'm curious. What was it like? Were you able to see your wildly wealthy woman?
Yes. And she was wearing white, which I actually always forget that. It's true. That happens so often. Yes. And she was older than I am now. But she was very vibrant and had so much wellness and health in her body and like a sense of freedom and expansiveness. I don't know. It was cool, very cool. It's so interesting. Jackie and I just work all the time with each other, and with our clients, but it always is magical and wonderful to connect with that future, that wildly wealthy woman self to give you that wisdom. So gave me a lot of peace. And yeah, I'd been through a couple losses last year that were significant. So, and I hadn't really had a chance to connect with that future self. So actually the kind of like wisdom download that I received through my body and feeling that was really, really great. Thank you. Thank you for today, Jackie. Here, I thought I was just coming on to talk about parts of self. I got to experience a little little
Yeah.
transformation myself. Thank you.
Well, we often say in tapping, right? It's better experienced than explained. And I thought
Yeah,
Sarah and I could talk to you about parts of self all morning, or we could show
right.
you it. And I'm seeing some more
Yeah.
comments come through. Tracy says, my wildly wealthy woman is strong, confident, and showed that we made it through all the struggles of starting businesses,
Mm,
our business, and successful and so full of love and happiness that we have touched so many others to help heal their life. Yay!
mm,
And this is tapping into frequency, right? Like in manifestation, it's saying that it's already done with a feeling that it's already done, not just saying it, but feeling it. Your wildly wealthy woman will teach you how to feel it. Bianca says, yes, also white. I actually got a white suit for when I do a photo shoot in the future.
oh, I love that.
Yeah, that it's cool. You'll start to see her come out many ways. Every time I see her in multiple different situations in meditation, she's wearing the same outfit and her body is different than my current one. She always tells me she's 38 years old. Well, keep tapping into her because each time you do this as well, she'll show you, she often looks different every time and she'll often show you more. So every time I tap into my wildly wealthy woman, she either tells me or shows me something new. And again, I really let the vision unfold instead of me trying to force it. Like, what else does she want to show me? What else does she want to say? Is there anything else? Just keep asking that question. Iris says, thank you. I'd lost touch with my wildly wealthy woman. She's wearing a black suit and reminding me of all my success and just to keep remembering my power and how strong I am to keep moving forward. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing these. And before we sign off today, I want to invite you to deepen into this work with us. So obviously you've heard us talk a lot about tapping school over the past few days. And it is really the core fundamental program I recommend for everyone coming into our world because the results are so profound and because we go so deep. And so the doors to tapping school are always open. You can join anytime, but we do have a really fun bonus for those of you that are watching this live or listening live right now. So when you sign up for tapping school, you are going to also get access to the Wildly Wealthy Woman tapping course, which we go through 4 main areas of your life. So we go through your body, we go through your relationships, we go through business, and then we go into money. And we do this practice on a much deeper level. And that is going to be included when you join tapping school. I think it's important to note, like, which one should I do? Like, should I just do the Wildly Wealthy Woman? I, in my experience, have seen tapping school get the most remarkable results because of the length and depth that we go into and the very practical tool that you get. So when you join tapping school, you will be a certified practitioner. You have a very tangible tool to go out and help others with, to build a business with. And this Wildly Wealthy Woman work, like I said, is included in it when you join. Sarah, is there anything that you would want to add to that people should know about tapping school if they're thinking about it today?
Um, well, it's a great opportunity to join now because it is really fun to do it when you're also doing the Wildly Wealthy Woman course because you have access to both things. But tapping school, if you're thinking about it, like if you're loving this and you're like, wow, I didn't realize um, how interesting tapping was, or you're curious, or you're noticing that your body is responding to this. I mean, when I decided to join tapping school, it was at a point where because I was in the middle of my healing, I had to travel all the way to Canada. I literally didn't even know if I would be okay physically to do that, but I was drawn to this work so much. I'd seen what it had done in my body, and I really couldn't have more joy for that choice that I made. It did change everything. And we have watched our students, like if you feel pulled towards this, whether it's personal or something you want to bring in as a business, I would say, I love it. It's open all the time. You can join anytime, but this is a great time to join. You have that momentum. If you feel it's like that little soul calling, and it really does have a transformative aspect because we do have you working in a group. We do have you actually practicing tapping. And it's one of the things that we really wanted from the program that we created, where you can actually tap with others within the group so that you have that experience. So you start feeling confident, you start to understand the tools. You're not able to just use it on yourself, but you can work with other people professionally or within your friend group or family group. And the connections you create, the practice that you get, it really sets this apart. So if you're here and you're like, oh, I've been thinking about this, I want to learn more about tapping, I welcome you into tapping school, and we are honored to be your teachers and to go through this. And if you're ready to have a personal transformation, because you will do your own work here too, and that's really the beauty of this. So
I couldn't have
I'm
said it better.
excited to welcome anyone
Yeah, and I
who's
think
ready to learn more.
we get two kind of groups of people that are already coaches, therapists, healers that want to get their clients faster results. And then we get this other group of people that are often moms or just women on a self-healing journey that are ready to do some serious work in a really profound and fun way. Our community, I will say, if you go listen to the Tapping School Summit, which I gave you all access to, over and over again, the women were like, the community, like the friendships that have been built from all over the world. I mean, business have been built. Sarah and I built this business through tapping buddies. And so, yeah, Tracy said going through tapping school changed who I am today. And Tracy is one of our newest alumni members. She just found me on Instagram. I'm like, so excited that you said yes. And tomorrow you're going to hear from some of our past students, their success stories. We're going to dive deeper into the business of tapping. So if you are a woman that wants to build a business or has a business already, we're going to teach you how to add tapping in so that you can host things like retreats, so you can be a part of other people's programs, so that you can build your own programs. And honestly, tapping gets you booked like no other modality. If you do want to be a public speaker, tapping is an experience that you can give from stage. I've been to multiple speaking events all around the world because I have tapping. So we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. And we're going to go into what it includes. So it does include an online learning platform that you can learn at your own pace. There is a live component, which is really important because we want to make sure that you're connected to us, you're staying on track, and that we are watching you on your journey. So if there's any questions that come up or techniques that you're not clear on, because there's lots of different tapping techniques that we teach inside tapping school, like tearless trauma technique, bundling baggage, bridging the gap. There's all these really core fundamental pieces that you need to be able to facilitate a session safely and effectively. We talk about how to structure sessions, how to find the languaging in your sessions, what to do if someone's emotions spike really high out of nowhere. So there is a live component. We do monthly pod calls, which is you come and you practice what you've learned with a tapping buddy, and Sarah and I are there to support you. So if you have questions while you're going through a real live session, we're there. And then we have quarterly Q&A calls, quarterly business brainstorming calls, which are fantastic if you're wanting to make a lot of money, because Sarah and I love to really meet you where you're at in business. Some people are already super successful. Some people are just starting, and give you our brains and support on how to take tapping out and build something great with it. So all of this is available inside Tapping School. I'm going to send you an email with the link. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me personally. We are happy to chat with you. I'm also available to hop on the phone. So I will be sending out a link to book a call with me. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow because we're going to dive in. We're going to do some more tapping. You're going to meet some great students in tapping school and explore the business of tapping for you. So thank you all. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you, Sarah, as always. Love you lots.
Thank you.
And
Love
we'll
you
see you
too.
next
Thank you
time.
so much for having me today.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.